Hey everyone, and welcome to my craft room. My name's Julianne Richards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in southern Tasmania. These are the tutorial videos for my August 2022 product class. This month we've featured the textured chic or texture chic collection or suite collection. The suite comprises of the wonderful stamp set with something for just about all year round there, the chic dies, which are very handy, and this beautiful designer series paper that you see I've featured in these cards, including the distressed gold specialty paper, which I've popped on each of the cards as well. And it's a wonderful gold. It's sort of like, well, it's distressed, as it says. It's basically got sort of an old, sort of worn look to it, but it's not sparkly and in your face like lots of gold that you see around the place. So I've really enjoyed using that, and it die cuts so beautifully. It's just such a joy to work with. Yeah, so these are the 3 cards we're doing this month. As usual, I do 1 video per card, so you can come back and concentrate on the card you've got in front of you rather than scrolling through a big long video. I do that every time, every month. Nobody's ever said that they'd prefer 1 big long video, so I'm going to plow on and keep doing it what I'm doing until somebody says that gives me a good reason to change. So anyway, we might as well let's do first cards first. Let's do this one here. Quite a stunning card, this one. I was going for something a little bit sophisticated, a little bit stylish. So hopefully you agree that I've achieved that. It's got some gold, but it's also got the really stunning black. So the black and gold combination is pretty stunning. It has snowflakes on it. It lends itself to being a Christmas card or a Christmas gift card holder, something like that. But, you know, anyone who has a love of the snow or a birthday during winter, anything like that would be a good time to give this card. Anyway, so it's a envelope card. Forgive that up there. That's me and my long-running trouble with ribbon, but I will do the video properly. And it's got a little insert there, but you could also pop a little gift card or some paper money or something in there as well and give it that way. So anyway, let's get started. We'll do this one. Here's my kit. Your kit should look something like this. I've realised I've left out the embellishments for myself, but we'll come back to that and pop those in. Be careful, as usual. I always say be careful getting everything out of your kit because there are lots of little pieces, which I probably will leave in my envelope for the moment, just until we actually need them so they don't go sprawling all over the floor. So this particular card is going to highlight the winter or the snowflake aspect of this design. And I think I'm missing. I knew I had to cut something else for myself, and I am missing a piece of cards, designer series paper. So bear with me. I'm going to have to try and find that in no time flat so I don't delay things too much. Here we are. It's a good chance to show you the designer series paper anyway. Here we have it. I've got multiple packets of it here because I love it so much. I'm actually missing the one in the pack that has looks like it's got like very faint motley, what's the word, weatherboards or sort of planking or something on it. So bear with me. I'll just find that one real quick if I can. There it is. Is that it? Yep, that's it. And I will cut myself a piece of that as we go, but we'll come back to that. Oh dear, I thought I had a bad time with my videos yesterday. Today could be even worse. Anyway, here we go. So as usual, I will put all the measurements and things into a post and put a link on the video so you can come back and get the measurements and recreate this fold yourself at a later stage. But we do have an 8 1/4 inch long piece of cardstock that's 5 1/2 high, and it's been scored from memory at 2 1/2, 2 1/2 and 6 1/2. And so the smaller fold creates the envelope at the bottom and the larger one is the sort of flap at the top. Okay, so I might just get my bone folder, give that a bit of a score, top and bottom. just so it folds flat. Okay, so before we start anything, I'm going to do the ribbon. This time I'm not going to forget, and I also haven't given myself any ribbon. I don't know that I've actually cut these very well at all, have I? Anyway, it's a good chance to show you the ribbon. Oh, okay, so the ribbon I've used here is quite a bright ribbon after me saying that I'm making it sophisticated. It's the gold shimmer ribbon. Here we are. It's in the current mini catalogue, and you've probably got a bit about 7 inches long, something like that. I'll grab a pair of scissors and cut myself some. So what we want to do is pop that ribbon onto that very gently, because you're doing it on designer series paper and we don't want to kink the designer series paper. We're going to actually just pop the ribbon around that piece of designer series paper and connect and attach it at the back. So probably I'd say, what's that, about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom of the paper is where you start the ribbon. So I'm going to grab my double-sided tape. You can use snail if you like, whatever your instant adhesive of choice is. Just going to pop that down that side and down this side. Okay, so as I say, probably about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom of the paper. I'll line that up, kink it round, attach it to the double-sided tape at the back, straight across, and there. Okay, so as I say, don't stretch it too tight because it is paper and it will kink the paper. It's obviously not as strong as cardstock. I'll just continue that now with some glue to put that piece of paper. Dimensional backing, what a surprise. With some glue on there, and this larger piece obviously goes on the top flap of your envelope, just like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. And hooray, I remembered the ribbon. There we are. So you don't have that untidy bit of ribbon on the back there, which is what I had on my original design. I'd like to pretend that I decided to use the ribbon after the card was already made, but you know me, I probably just forgot completely. Okay, so we've got the ribbon and we've got our top piece of paper there. I might actually cut myself a piece of the other one so I can put that on the bottom. Just find my trimmer. Now, 5.5 long, so this piece of paper is going to be 5 3/4 long, and the little bottom flap is, I think it's 1 3/4. Okay, so we want 1 3/4. That's 6. Yeah, so 1 5/8 high, and line that up, and 5 3/8 long. Sorry, that should already be in your pack. You won't have to cut that yourself. I've just forgotten to give myself that one. I always say that I try and make these kits complete so that I know that you get the right bits, but I know for a fact that I made these kits up for myself after the event, so I'm not too concerned that you're missing pieces. But as usual, if you are, please yell out and I will replace them, because I just don't want you guys to be without what you need to make these cards. So there's the little piece of designer series paper on the bottom as well. Okay, so what we might do now is seal up the bottom of our envelope so that it forms an actual little pocket. Again, I'm using double-sided tape. I have some thicker double-sided tape somewhere to grab out, but I've tucked it away somewhere. I'll get it out soon. This is just a thin 3mm one that I've picked up. Very handy actually at times, this really skinny double-sided tape, because you can leave a lot of nice room there in your pocket. The downside is it's not quite as firm. So we've got our little pocket there, which is for our little insert. Okay, so that's pretty much the envelope part of our card done. We're going to decorate the front, obviously, with all our goodies. We'll do the inside. So you've got another panel of basic black and a panel of, or a layer of um, basic white. That goes on there, obviously. And this forms our little insert. You then also will have a strip of leftover strip of designer series paper, and you guys know I hate to waste. So I've given you all the little offcuts of the designer series paper. Yours will be slightly longer than mine, but because mine was a slightly smaller offcut. But your piece of designer series paper, you can pop it down the bottom there, just to give the card a little bit of extra interest on the inside. As I say, mine's a bit shorter. I didn't have the right size offcut, and it seemed a bit contrary to the idea of things to make myself an offcut when really I just didn't want to waste the paper. So as I say, yours will go right to the very edges of the white. Okay, so we'll come back to that in a moment. We might as well start decorating our lovely black stitched circle. So this stitched circle will be from the Stylish Shapes die set, which I use a lot and absolutely adore. And you've got lots of little bits and bobs here, so be careful when you get them out. You've got some sort of star looking snowflakes, just little ones in white. You've got a larger snowflake also in white. Might have to weed that. There we go. And then you've got a sort of an outline of a white snowflake. And this one's for actually stamping the snowflake from the dies. This one here, we're going to stamp that on that little die cut in black. And then you should also have beautiful distressed gold snowflake as well. So that's what we're going to do. And you will have some white matte dots to do the decorating, the final touches with. Oh, and a sentiment box, of course. So you've got a bit of everything there. Okay, so let's get started. I might stamp our snowflake first. So just grab that from the set. Grab a block. As I say, we're just going to do it in black ink. We're trying to keep this lovely card all black and white and gold. Just ink that one up. Yeah, as usual with a photopolymer ink pad stamp set, you might want to pop a silicone matte or a foam matte underneath to get really good stamping. We'll see how I go. That's not too bad. That's worked out well. So good thing is with the clear stamp anyway, because you're just trying to get it in position on a block on a pre-cut die, it's pretty easy to see through and line it up. So as you saw there, if you have the Chic dies, you might prefer to just stamp that on on a scrap of white and die cut it yourself if you have difficulty lining it up. Okay, so what we're going to do is going to pop all those beautiful things onto our black square. So starting with our snowflake, our sort of actual die cut snowflake, pop that on. Now you could use ink dots, which I think I've used on my original design, but I'm just going to pop some glue on the back of that one and just pop it towards and I know circles don't have corners, but if you orient it the way you want it on your card, just pop it down towards the bottom right hand side a wee bit, just like that. Got a bit extra glue there to sop up. Okay, so again, then we want our little distressed gold snowflake, and this one's got a bit more area for actually popping glue on. Now mine ripped a wee bit. You can see it's missing its little snow bits at the bottom there, but it didn't matter too much because it's going to hide behind the die cut and stamped snowflake. So just pop that on there. Now, when you do your sentiment, it's going to just sort of, well, I'd like to pop it just slightly behind that snowflake, so don't use too much glue at this stage, so you can slip that under when the time comes, because we'll put that on once we've got it on the card. Okay, so then we're going to bring in our two little starburst snowflakes. I'm going to pop one just there, just above to the right. Stay there, snowflake. And another one just over to the left-hand side a bit. Yeah. Now you might find it easy to actually have already popped that circle onto your card by the time you do this decorating, but I'm going to pop it on after. But so just watch where we're headed, and then you'll know where you're headed when you see it all done, and you'll be able to get there. Okay, so our little snowflake that we've stamped, and it's been die cut, it's going to sit just off to the right hand side, just here, over the top of everything, so sort of like that. So we're going to have to put some and I'm going to put that on embellishment, on dimensionals. And over there, slightly higher, if you can see it, slightly higher than the bottom of that die cut one, but over to the left hand side. So that's the sort of look you're going for with our little black stitched circle. Now I'm going to add that to our card. So we want it there, that way there. And I'm actually having it so it overlaps the edge. I'll open it up a wee bit so you can see. So it sort of overlaps the edge of that top flap, so you can see some of the card over. So obviously I'm only going to need glue on the top sort of 2/3. And that's going to capture our ribbon as well. There we are. Might just give that a minute to take. You might find it better to attach that with double-sided tape or a snail, since we are capturing that ribbon, but the glue's worked fine. Okay, so there we are. So that's mostly decorated there. So now all we need is a sentiment, and on your little sentiment box, this little sentiment box fits the Thinking of You from the stamp set pretty well. I'm just seeing if it'll fit anything else. You are amazing beyond measure. Doesn't quite fit. So we'll go with the Thinking of You. Of course, you can substitute any sentiment you like that you have at home for whatever occasion you decide to use it. You might bring it out for Christmas, so use a Christmas sentiment. Okay, so Thinking of You fits pretty well. We'll go with that one. And I mean, of course, you can be thinking of somebody at any time of the year, so it doesn't really, sort of an all-covering sentiment, isn't it? Okay, so just to take a bit of the whiteness off that sentiment box, I have actually grabbed out kept out the little snowflake here that we've already used, and my black ink. And what I'm going to do is just stamp my snowflake, find myself a scrap of paper from somewhere, because I haven't got my, I'll go to the garbage bin, good old garbage bin, find myself a scrap of paper, stamp off once on the scrap, and then just very lightly stamp on the top right hand corner and bottom left hand corner of that. So you just get the faintest of snowflake impressions. So off on a scrap, and then on the left hand side there. It just takes a wee bit of the white starkness off that sentiment box, and sort of links it in. Links it in with the whole design. There we are. So we're going to pop that onto our card. As I say, I'm just going to slightly, what's the word, slip it in under that gold little one there, and then just run it along to the left hand side. Apologies, I'm working my way down the thing there. Yeah, work it out towards the right hand side of the card. It does cover over a wee bit of your ribbon, but that's not too, it doesn't cover too much. So just some glue on the back, or again, you might prefer snail. Pop it there and out to the right hand side. Okay, so there we are, thinking of you. Right, embellishing. As I say, in your pack you should have some of the white classic matte dots, which if you're watching this video this week, the week of the 1st of September, the classic matte dots are actually in this week's September weekly specials. So they're I can't remember exactly what they're reduced to, but they are actually cheaper this week only, so through to the 6th of September. And just pop one there, one up there, and one down here. And there we are. That's our first card done. So our beautiful envelope card, I'll pop that in there. Actually, I have on my original card, I've also put another sentiment from the stamp set inside, and just stamped one of the really pretty leaf there as well from the stamp set. So, and they would be just in black, as I say, just trying to keep the black, white and gold theme happening. So there we are. Okay, so that's card number 1. I'll just have a bit of a tidy up and come back with the next video from a slightly cleaner craft room. Okay.